Hey everybody, and welcome to the Nightly Grind. Tonight is August 25th, 2017, and we have some exciting news for the week. The Gamescom's this week. Has anybody been checking any of that stuff out?
Not really.
No.
Nice.
Nah,
All right.
I
Well,
was
look at
concerned for Star Citizen stuff, but
yeah, that was most of that was today, right?
I did watch some early Gamescom of them playing Star Citizen. It looked fucking buggy as shit.
Well, it's still alpha.
Early alpha.
Yeah, early alpha. Hopefully 3.0 will be coming out sometime soon.
Well, it's supposed to come. It was
Quote,
supposed to
unquote.
come out end of July. Now it's clear to see why it hasn't.
Yeah. Well, they have a rundown of their bug list. You can if you check out their Reddit subreddit. They post it every once in a while. They still have like 50 bugs that they have to deal with. So,
Well, sometimes when you fix a bug, it's open.
makes
two
more.
bugs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
But they do have a rundown or burn down list. I forget what they call it, something like that. But let's jump into something else first. Today's big news. It exploded on the internet when it came out, and that is that the writer for Half-Life 2 revealed his story for Half-Life 2 Episode 3. His name is Mark Laidlaw. It was entitled on his blog Epistle 3, in quotes, and I hear myself echoing through somebody. It had its names, places, and locations changed, although it's not difficult to figure out who was who. I forget what they changed Gordon's name to, but it was another G name. Like, it was very odd. It was like something Friedman or something like that. Like, it was incredibly close. Gordo Friedman or something like that. Like, it was really close. In the very end, the last paragraph is what got me. It seemed like it was sort of a message to the readers. And it went, quote, "Old friends have been silenced or fallen by the wayside. I no longer know or recognize most members of the research team, though I believe the spirit of the rebellion still persists. I expect you to know better than I the appropriate course of action, and I leave you to it. Accept no further correspondence from me regarding these matters. This is my final epistle." So that struck me as sort of like a, you're not getting this game. you know, you need to continue the story without
So
Valve.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I think we've reached a point with that. I want to say maybe not, but it's almost Duke Nukem level where it even if no matter if it does ever come out, it's never going to live up to the expectations of the community.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
been too long.
and it's
It's not like Duke Nukem was ever a good game.
yeah,
This has the
but
potential
I mean,
to be a good game.
Oh
a
my!
lot of this,
Bite your tongue.
a lot of the stuff that made Half-Life 2 it was groundbreaking at the time, and it's not groundbreaking anymore.
Sure. Yeah. It's however long
So
the move now.
yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where it's just I don't think it ever lived up to the hype. I mean, the same thing with Duke Nukem. The things that made Duke Nukem are like Saturday morning cartoons now.
Right.
You know, so it's like you have to go to a new level of like, oh dear God, in order
I have
to
to
make
keep
it actually.
asking my children not to talk like that.
Yeah, so it's just
Stop talking like Duke Nukem.
That's the thing. It's just I can't see it ever become. I can't see. I think Gabe Newell may even realize it's the hype of the game is 10 times greater than the game could actually ever be.
Yeah.
And even if they made it, it would end up being oh God, why? How did you fuck this up so bad? No matter how good it actually was. So.
Yeah.
I'm still a little disappointed they didn't finish it out.
Yeah. I mean,
They'd be better to do it as a Telltale game, like a point and click, like choose your own adventure type game at this point, and then trying to make it a first person shooter and running with that if they want to finish the storyline.
yeah. I can see.
Well, I
that.
think
like an interactive
I
story.
think no matter
Yeah.
how shitty it is, there's going to be a lot of people that will buy it. Period.
Oh no, that's not
Just to finish it, you know.
yeah, without a doubt. But it's the thing is that the initial reaction from the community will be how did you fuck this up? You had so many years to get it right. How did you fuck this up?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the point.
they can't win. It could be
The
the
point is making
greatest
money
fucking
like
game
yours.
ever. It could be the greatest game ever, and there'll still people that'll go, it's
I thought
horrible.
Yeah, but you always say the point is to make money. They would make lots of money.
They would. A lot of money. Well, maybe.
That's probably in Steam's. Oh shit, we're about to go bankrupt.
Yeah, it's their
file.
final
Yeah,
card.
You
but
know?
look at what Steam's new game is. a fucking card game. That's where the market has gone. That's where people vote with their dollars, you know? We need to blame the people who are doing microtransactions, who are playing these fucking card games.
Pre-orders.
Like I said last week, though, card games are the easiest way to print money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple. It's stupid. It's the old joke. It's just card games are an easy way to print money. They really
all those cards are there.
I feel like the card games. There's so many freaking card games right now. It's reaching that point of like the music games
saturated.
When Rock Band and Guitar Hero were pumping out games all the time. I feel like it's reaching that level of ridiculousness.
It is to a point. I would agree. The only difference is that Rock Band and the games like that ended up fighting over the same.
What's Saul laughing at?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ridiculous that they saturated the market that much.
She likes the game. She likes.
I know. She's part of the problem. Saul's the reason we haven't gotten Half-Life Episode 3.
It's the one we got.
The Rock games.
I don't see an issue with the Rock Band.
Oh my gosh!
You see that?
Yeah, see the problem with that is I guarantee a few of those in there are like Rock Band, Rolling Stones, Rock Band, Beatles,
the Beatles,
Rock Band, Metallica.
Wait, you know,
the Beatles, Green Day, Metallica, Aerosmith.
You see
Green Day got their own Rock Band game.
It's sad, isn't it? I mean,
they're good.
Sad.
I like them, but they don't have enough of a repertoire. The Beatles, Aerosmith, they have a lot of songs.
I remember standing in a Toys R Us when the AC/DC one dropped. When it went on sale.
Oh, that's one I don't have.
It was a big event.
Oh man.
Yeah, but see, that was the problem with the Rock bands was they didn't want to release. If the games would still be viable even on a successful level today if you were allowed to bring in your own music and play your own music. But since they had everything behind a fucking paywall. And then they started doing that dumb shit where it's like, if you want to play the Beatles, you have to buy the $60 Beatles add-on for 10 songs.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, why own the entire Beatles discography? Why can't I just drop the fucking... Here, you can't do that.
No.
You know what I mean? Card games are different. Card games, if the game is viable, if it actually functions, if it's a fun game to play, then it's just literally insert coin to get cards. And you're going to have people that are willing to throw tons and tons of cash at that to get cards.
I'm not trying to compare the two types of games. I'm just saying it's reaching a saturation point in the market where they feel the same.
I'm not comparing them either. I'm just saying the difference is that with Rock Band, it was only Rock Band and the other one, Guitar Hero or whatever.
Yeah.
And with this one, I mean, there's like what we have now. Hearthstone, we have Gwent, we have like at least dozen that are on Elder Scrolls.
One.
You still have...
I think there's a League of Legends one in the works.
They're probably wouldn't doubt it.
The Dota 2 one they're making.
And like Saul said, you still have Granddaddy Magic out there, and I mean, Magic Online is still the one to beat.
Sure. Well, I don't know. Hearthstone seems to be incredibly popular.
I think Hearthstone's very, very popular, but I think if you want a game that is extremely robust,
sure.
I don't think you can beat Magic right now. I mean, the game is...
The other differences with Magic, there's... all the games you can sit there and pick out what game you want and say, I'm going to spend $5 on this card. Yeah. Whereas Hearthstone, it's only boosters. It's only random cards. You don't get to pick and choose.
Right.
And with the greatest thing about Magic is, too, you can actually go online and you can find the free bots that'll get free cards. And there's plenty of traders on there where you can spend $1 on an event ticket and get like 300 cards.
Yeah.
I mean, you get, well, not 300, at least 100 when they're a penny each.
Sure.
But I mean, and they're not trash cards. You're getting actually really, really good cards that you can
Rares,
build decks with and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's there's a definite connect to it. So I mean, you can technically spend $10 in you could buy the game, and then make a plenty of decks. You'll never need to buy more cards unless you're really, really bad. Where in Hearthstone, you have to play the game, and if you're going to eventually want to put money into it. So.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a way to print money. I mean, shit. $3.99 for a booster pack for 8 cards or whatever it is for Hearthstone, I think. No, it's 6 cards in Hearthstone. I think it's 6 or 8. I think it's 6.
I never played it.
I don't remember.
So.
I never spent money on it either.
Anyways, back to Half-Life 2, episode 3. You can check it out on this guy's blog. His name is Mark Laidlaw. It's all over the internet right now. People creamed themselves when they saw that drop. But I don't think the game is ever going to come out. It's an interesting read. I'd suggest, I'm not going to give any synopsis. I'd suggest reading it yourself. It's not long.
It may be released for closure. It could be released for a teaser.
Yeah, I don't know. seeing what Valve has been doing, I don't have any faith.
What has Valve been doing?
Their big release was the new card game. That's what
I didn't even hear about it, so that tells you how big of a release
we talked about it, and the people booed. They was at the Invitational, the International, which is their big yearly World Finals.
Right, yeah.
And they had this huge reveal in this trailer. At the end of the trailer, it says a Dota card game, and the crowd booed. It was the biggest disappointment. But yeah, that's what Valve's up to. So I think they're just happy making money selling games for other people at this point. I don't know.
I think they've reached that conclusion, for
and making hats for Team Fortress.
And making hats for Team Fortress, yes.
Yeah. So that's that. This was a nice piece of news. It's not really PC related, but Microsoft confirmed this week that they're talking with Sony about the possibility of crossplay between the two systems. Which I think would be awesome.
Sony won't fucking do it.
I don't know. They're talking.
No, originally Sony was up for it.
Were they?
I think Sony when it originally came out, I think Sony was originally up for it. I think the issue was Microsoft wants everybody to put money into the system before they'll do anything. So,
I thought the issue was that one of them, the initial issue was that one of them you had to pay to do the online thing, and the other one you didn't.
Both of them you have to pay for.
Yeah, you
now.
both have to pay now.
Okay, I thought PlayStation was free initially.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
That's a long while ago now.
But are the prices the same?
I think Sony is cheaper.
It's $5 or $10 at the most.
People could argue. Yeah, the thing with Sony is with the Sony, in order to get online on either system, you have to have their pay for the services now. Sony used to be free, but Sony, you get a whole bunch of stuff for free every month.
Yeah.
And I think Xbox has gone to that, doing something similar to that, but they don't do it the same way that PlayStation does now.
Yeah, they're both different. It's pros and cons of each. I wouldn't really try and compare them too much. And I don't think that's I think they're scared about console loss in sales. But how many people are buying both consoles anymore? I don't think many. Hardcore fanboys are going to do it regardless.
Right.
If you want to own both, because you want to play the console exclusives.
Well, yeah,
you're not going to not buy one or the other because you can now play with your friends on either.
The question I would ask for this is this a death knell? Is this showing the final the dying throes of the console market? Because the only the only reason to do that would be that you're having a diminishing amount of people playing online, and you want to get a larger game base.
Well, I would say it's more.
People have been asking for it for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's more probably to extend the life of games.
That's not something that they worry about, though, because the whole console market's driven by you have to buy the new game that comes out every year.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about games that don't have yearly, iterations.
That's one of the things that they really, but even then, that's the I would say the difference. But even on PC, it's kind of changed on that aspect to a point. But at some point, they will just stop carrying games. They will stop supporting servers for the consoles.
Sure.
So. I don't know. Like I said, the only thing I can think either system wanting to do that would be you could start the whole rivalry thing, like who's better, you know what I mean? And do the metrics on that and data track and say more people win at PlayStation or more people win at Xbox for particular genres or games in general. But I mean, even then it would be one of those things where why would you want to do that to a point? I mean, it's unless you're trying to get an actual console war going where you're going to be going, hey, the Madden 19.
I'm an Xbox, and if I want to play with somebody who's on PC or on PlayStation, then we can play.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a friend who plays PlayStation, but
they don't
own
want
a PlayStation.
That. But they don't want that. They want you to go, hey, you have to go buy an Xbox and play with me.
But my guess is they've looked at the numbers, and it probably doesn't make a difference. There's probably a chunk of people who buy both regardless because they want to play The Last of Us on this and Halo on that. And there's probably a small chunk of people who would buy both because their friends buy both, and then a large chunk who would like it better if they could play with their friends on the other system with the one they already have, but they're not willing to buy.
I just
got a friend who's vegging out on a certain game, and you want to play with that friend. Maybe you'll go out and buy that game to veg out on it with them.
Yeah, you might buy a game that you wouldn't have bought normally.
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, it's still what's the exclusives don't really matter when you're talking about online play. Like I said, if they have the cross-platform built into it. I mean, both systems already have that aspect because they already are playing games they've been cross-platforming with PC for a while. We had Rocket League, which was a big one for that.
Yeah.
World of Tanks, I think, also is the same thing with Xbox and PC. Warframe, I think, works with PlayStation 4 and PC. So I mean, there are games that are already cross-platform with PC. Now they're just kind of bridging the gap between the systems.
They could also be doing this to compete with Nintendo. Nintendo, apparently the Switch has been sold out all over the place, and it's like Nintendo's been coming back. Maybe they're doing that to try and get people to go back to Xbox and PlayStation.
Potentially.
Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't. To me, the only reason you do that is because you're losing. If your online community is robust enough, it doesn't really need to add in another set of players. You know.
I just think you're all like, no, keep it like it is. Keep it like it is. It's a dying.
No, I just it doesn't make sense.
You're so scared of change.
No. I like what they're doing. I think it's an interesting idea. I'm just curious at why they're doing it now.
Why now?
I think it's because people have demanded it for so long. They wanted this crossplay for a long time.
They've wanted it for a long time, and but it's like I said, there's no reason for Sony and there's no reason for Microsoft to all of a sudden wake up one morning and go, maybe we should crossplay with the other system. My guess
is maybe they have the data now that they didn't have previously. That's my guess.
Like I said, I could see it as a definite selling ploy for them, as a marketing aspect of going, defend the honor of your system. If you've always been an Xbox player, go pick up the Xbox One and take it to the PlayStation players on, whatever game happens to be popular at that time. And then having a whole competitive gaming aspect on that and showing who's the better gaming system.
And then also they can sell the very specifics of each of their systems. Our system better at this than the PlayStation, which is better at this.
And I'd be all for that because that forces competition.
And you can play with your friends still.
And that would force competition between the systems even more than they already have.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I mean that's great, and since they're technically still running on their own networks, the Xbox is still going to run on their base network, and PlayStation's going to run on their base network. You're going to see which system's going to have the better connections and everything like that, vice versa, which is only going to help push them to actually make sure things are working well and stuff. So I mean, yeah.
Could you imagine the hackers these Xbox noobs keep beating me up. I'm gonna go and hack Xbox.
Well, that's that DDoSing the servers and shit like that and stuff they already do that that happens to both systems.
On Christmas Day.
Yeah,
it's always Christmas.
You gotta twist the knife. I didn't get one for Christmas. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's when Blizzard gets attacked too.
I can't play the new Call of Duty, so nobody can. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was a cool piece of news. I mean, it was just hey, this is happening right now, and that was it. So we don't know how far they're going. But
the fuck is that, Torn?
What?
That is the first picture posted by Kevin Smith on the set of the new Jay and Silent Bob movie.
That's quite the detour.
I'm sorry, I just...
Isn't it funny that I put "this is happening" and then both "this is happening"? Literally said that right after that.
That's funny. So that's a good segue. It's actually not a good segue into the next section, which is that the HTC Vive virtual reality headset has been dropped in price by $200 from $799 to $599. Does that make it any more an intriguing purchase?
That's the sign of a dying market.
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it really though?
Sign of a healthy market.
Yeah.
Have
they sold enough to be able to drop the price finally?
Generally, when prices drop,
if they're still selling it,
PS will drop the price of their units right when it's just getting good. They do it every single time.
They usually do it when competition is
the
dropping
PlayStation lags behind for 2 years. The price drops and they start title after title.
And I still would say the same thing. I'm gonna say the same thing when I said originally when they had the $700 price tag is. Why the fuck would you want to buy something for $700? $800. My bad.
Yeah.
For $800 you can build. You already have to have a top of the line gaming rig to really utilize that in its highest functionality.
Well, now you can put that extra $200 into a better gaming rig.
Fuck you. For what? The
If you
3 games that you play for 10 minutes?
Look, you said how many times
that you got the money already.
Look, how many times have you said that this starts with the rich people and then it goes down to everybody else? So clearly, it's making a transition to the everybody else part.
Yeah, maybe the tech got cheaper.
It needs to drop dramatically.
It needs to drop to like $300 before I would even look at buying it.
Yeah, it would have to be. It have to be under a $200 price point to be viable for the most people. Yeah. And I still think it would have to. It would be
$50. I will consider it.
$50. Man, if you haven't spent
your monitor costs more than $50.
Yeah.
The plastic, everything is housed in comic.
And either way, at the end of the day, it still don't matter if there's nothing to play on it. Yeah. I mean, it's a great little toy, but it's a toy that has no functionality. It's like,
hey, don't you say that KFC has started training all their staff with the fucking VR set? Have you seen that?
I don't. Oh,
what
like,
is the cost of?
There's this crazy video that popped up.
They can't learn in an actual kitchen.
God forbid. They might hurt themselves with hot oil.
It is bizarre.
They just have a test kitchen they go to.
It is extremely bizarre.
That's weird.
The Colonel's up in a picture.
All I can say about that is KFC's got to be making some mad ass fucking cash.
It teaches you how to. It's how to properly bread the chicken and how long to cook it.
The only other people that I know that do any type of VR training are the United States military, and it's like
they got a bunch of stuff that they're using in schools. I've seen.
That's not
airplane
really,
pilots.
Like, operational training though.
Airplane pilots.
Well, we need to get kids operational.
Yeah, but that's less 3D like.
That's a simulator.
More like a simulator.
That's a sim.
That's
true.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
yet again, the reason behind that is you don't want to get a guy into a 747 and have him make a whoopsie mistake.
Why? 747s fly themselves.
Wrong switch.
I'm not saying that. I'm just. But either way, you don't want like that. Solo takes more flights than anybody. Where it's like if you got on the plane and you basically like at the pilot go, "Hey, this is my first actual flight."
You would be shocked how little.
God's prayers.
He wouldn't be the captain. He'd be the co-captain.
They have a co-pilot there too.
Yeah, the co-pilot's the noob.
Have you seen the new
like,
videos that have come out about how little pilots actually fly?
Attention, folks.
It's pretty amazing.
We're currently cruising at 20,000 feet, and I'm going to let Jimmy here take over on the controls. It's his first time. We might experience a little turbulence.
We've got 8-year-old Timmy from Arkansas with us, and we're going to give him a little shot at the controls.
It's the Make-A-Wish program.
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Timmy wants to fly the plane. Yeah.
Do you like gladiator movies, Timmy?
Wants to crash a jumbo jet.
Do you like gladiator movies, Timmy?
No, so what's the line from fucking Airplane?
That's it.
That's it.
Exactly.
I don't know the kid's name, but you like gladiator.
What he said though was so inappropriate, though.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it's Timmy.
I don't remember, but I remember it was like it was totally inappropriate. It was like pedophile, level crap he says to the kid. It's like,
have you ever seen a grown man naked?
That's what it was. Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
So moving on.
with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the co-pilot.
Yeah. This is a Gamescom announcement, and that is that Age of Empires 4 was announced. We know no other details other than.
Well, we do have one other major detail, and that's the studio producing it.
Oh yeah, Relic will be making.
Relic
the game.
Studio is producing it, which means that it's. I'm going to give it about a 60% chance of being a decent game, because Relic does. Relic is.
I mean, they have the formula in front of them.
Relic's good when they do something good.
They have a formula in front of them. Like they don't have to do much.
Well, let me put it this way. Relic is always. I'm a huge Relic fan. I've loved most of the games they've made. The last game that came out with Dawn of War 3 has flopped so horribly bad, but I think a lot of that has to do more with the fact that the game was pushed. Sega really pushed them in a direction that they didn't necessarily want to go. And they kind of fucked up their Dawn of War system that they pretty much made their bread and butter.
Age of Empires is pretty similar to Dawn of War.
It's
They've also made Company of Heroes, though.
Yeah, and Company of Heroes is still hands down one of the best. But see, the thing is, the Dawn of War, that's a strategic game, but it's more like it's a RTS, not a strategic style. with Age of Empires. Age of Empires
is more of like empire building, and then you attack each other.
Yeah, and Company Heroes is more of a military strategy, just pure
slow
the thing
RTS. Yeah.
The thing that made their game, the Company Hero and the old Dawn of War games, great was that where other RTS games is more or less like quote unquote Zerg tactics, where it's just build massive armies, charge army at other base, and then rinse repeat. Company Heroes is one where like with the cover system and the experience and the rock paper scissors type elements of the game, where certain units were very very effective against some things and very very weak against others. It really, there was a lot more thought involved in the combat. So it was a very very great game in that aspect. It was something completely different where you could have like 3 or 4 units entrenched in heavy cover and they could fight and take off 10 times the amount of troops against them. So it was more realistic in combat than Zerg tactics and like other games like our Company Hero, or not Company Heroes, what the hell is that name game? Command and Conquer, StarCraft style games. So it's like the thing is, Relic's never made this type of game before. So they've never made a Age of Empires type game like that along those lines.
Dawn of War and Company of Heroes are
similar, but they're similar, but not. The difference between the games is in Company Heroes, you have a different set type of game. Okay, you don't start off in the prehistoric era and then build your way up to like actual modern day combat. You pretty much start at one level and you pretty much go from that. So it'll be an interesting thing. I mean, you got to realize this is a game that deals with farming. This is a game that deals with building, actually cutting down trees and resource management. Company Heroes and Dawn of War have never really had resource management in it. They've had some aspects of it, but it's been territorial control, not actual like cut down trees and mine silver and cut stone to do shit. It's been control this and you can earn more fuel. You control, you earn more pop cap and stuff like that. So it's a completely different style of game.
Yeah.
In the long run.
I mean, they're all resource management to some degree.
It's pretty similar to Dawn of
Falls
War.
They're all resource management to some degree.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that when Company Heroes, you start with it's territorial control. You don't have any territorial control in Age of Empires.
Right. So it's not as
you
similar
do. It's just not
Heroes,
to
but
any
it's
degree.
Really close to Dawn of War. Dawn of War is really similar to Age of Empires.
For the original Dawn of War, maybe. But even then, it was still territorial control. You still had to control points on the map in order to do stuff. You didn't have to actually do any resource gathering. You didn't have to do anything.
Well, those were your resources.
But it wasn't like, for example, like the old style, like Command and Conquer. You actually needed to like resource gather in order to build troops. You didn't necessarily need to do that.
It's funny. She knows if she keeps poking the bear, you're just gonna keep going.
I know.
Just keep fucking doing it.
Well, it's like something I can actually comment on because I played those games.
So I'm excited that Age of Empires 4 might be coming out soon. There's no release date.
I don't think it's coming out soon. I think it's going to be,
There's no game footage or what. Like there was nothing that they showed.
I think this is just early release. You got to realize Relic just got finished with Dawn of War. So I mean the third one. So they've been working on another game.
It could be a second team or something. Yeah.
I don't know. Relic's not a huge studio.
Yeah. So they could still have like one team working on early game. Just like brainstorming while the other team's finishing.
They're announcing they're beginning work on it, or they
announced that it's a thing. That's what they announced. They announced that there's going to be an Age of Empires 4.
Yeah.
So by next year, probably.
I would imagine 2018.
I would say the end of the end of next year, early 2019.
Maybe it could even be middle of next year.
Yeah.
We don't know. They didn't give us a date. They gave us They didn't even say 2018. They just said it's a thing. So. It could be 2020. I doubt that, but...
When did the last one come out? It was several years ago.
When is the last one?
Jesus Christ. It's been forever today.
Yeah, so long ago, I'm too old to remember that.
Let me check the Wikipedia
I think Age of Empires 2 came out in 99.
They didn't make
99, good lord, that was a long time ago. I was standing at work the other day and realized that, like...
2005.
Yeah, that was 3.
Wow.
Over 10 years.
1970 will have been a half a century ago. It was like, oh god.
Yeah, I forget what year it was, but
it was like years got left. Oh, I'm gonna die soon.
It was like 1990 something. was closer to the moon landing than we are to it, or something crazy like that. You know? But yeah, this is. I looked up the list of Relic games. It's not extensive, other than Company of Heroes, Warhammer games, The Outfit, Homeworld and Homeworld 2, and Impossible Creatures.
Impossible Creatures is the closest game that they've done.
I have never even seen that before. Yeah, I've never seen it. And then a whole bunch of different Warhammer 40,000 and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've done the Dawn of War series, the multiple expansions for the original Dawn of War, Dawn
Space
of War
Marines,
2, Space Marines. Space
Dark
Marine.
Crusade, Dawn of War, Dark Crusade. Oh, those are expansions.
They're all the expansions for the original Dawn of War. Then Dawn of War 2, and I think 2 or 3 expansions for the Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War 3. They've also done Company Heroes 2, plus the multiple expansions they've all done for both of those games. So, I mean, like I said, Relic is a damn good game company. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here, but like I said, they really shit the bed on Dawn of War 3. So I'm worried if we'll see how much of it, if the studio is allowed to really run with it and do what they're good at, then the game could be fantastic. Now, if they're going to end up shoehorning in a bunch of shit to try to make it accessible to everybody, which makes it no fun for anybody, then we'll just... I mean, but that's what it boils down to. I mean, it really the Age of Empires. Everybody, again, it's another one of those games where the nostalgia factor is far greater than the game actually is. And don't get me wrong, the game's fantastic.
Shut your mouth.
The game is good. I'm just saying it's
things have surpassed it since then.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that if they make it like the original, it will still be fantastic. But it's also back in the day where it's a lot more hardcore than I use hardcore as just but it's a lot more unforgiving. You know what I mean? Than a lot of the games are today. So, I mean, you can get completely destroyed in the first 10 minutes of that game if somebody just Zerg rushes you right off the bat. You know what I mean? So...
There's no Zerg in it.
No, but you can still get charged with, like...
It's a different game.
You can still... It's a term for the
Dude, it takes you more than 10 minutes to figure out where the other people's base is.
Yeah,
you
10 minutes is a bit
You send
aggressive.
your peasants out in different directions, find them, and then...
Or if you're like
on
the ocean, you send a boat out if you're advanced. Yeah, anyways.
You know, there's still... But there's a reason why... There's a reason why games like that have turrets in their bases early on, and that's to inhibit that style of play.
Yeah.
Because you can't charge when there's a turret there that's going to mow down your low-level units.
And it takes a lot of wood and stuff to get to the point where you can
actually kill
do anything powerful. Yeah.
To kill that kind of so that's
Third
the reason that kind of stuff is in there. There's none of that shit in the old Age of Empires 2 and Age of Empires 3. It's right off. As soon as you start your thing, and there's no way to defend your territory. But
well, the central thing does have some weapon in it, doesn't it?
In Age of Empires 2, you have your hero unit.
Yeah.
So I mean, but even that's not really something that can.
You start off with three workers.
Peasants. Yeah.
You start off with 3 workers and a scout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm excited, but we'll have more information in the future.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 will be coming to the PC, and we now know that it will have complete mod support and Steam Workshop integration when it's released on PC. They want the PC version to be the definitive version of the game. We lost Torn.
What did you do, Torn?
There won't be a sequel to it.
There will be no sequels, yeah. It'll just be additional DLC onto the game. As far as mature content is concerned with mods, they said, quote, it will be up to the moral sense of all the players.
So we're going to see those tomorrow.
That's
super high morals.
We're going to see more mods released for that are nudity.
There's going to be an immoral mod
before the game is even released.
Those are like a Skyrim level of mods.
I think it'll probably put Skyrim to shame.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess it's better. It's better graphics now. So maybe. So.
They have to know by now if you tell somebody not to do something, they're just gonna do it.
That's why I don't know the term the moral aspect of it. Where's the moral aspect of it? I mean, literally.
You can choose whether it's downloaded or not.
Yeah. They're not going to be surprised when it happens, I think is what they're saying.
This is the one that just came out recently, right?
on consoles. Yes, they're still working on the PC version.
This is the one I kept calling the Zoolander because it's just like 4 guys driving a car around the country or whatever.
That's pretty much it.
I haven't played it at all. I'm excited that it's going to come to PC, and I'm really excited that they're making it a good version. Like it seems like they're really putting all their effort into the PC version, and the fact that mod support is going to be there is really cool too. I applaud.
Well, this is the thing that gets me about that right now. SquareSoft, Square Enix, Square whatever the fuck they're called now. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been more of a PC release company the past 5 years than they have been a console company. I mean, they're re-releasing like everything they've done on PC. You know, so it's like it's interesting to see them kind of get away. I mean, they used to be a pure Sony exclusive. They're no longer Sony exclusive, and it seems like they're re-releasing all their old stuff on Steam. I mean, you can get anything SquareSoft's ever done on Steam right now.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting to see them like show that level of dedication to the PC platform. So
absolutely, yeah. No, I'm really excited that they're pushing it so hard on PC. And I'm excited. I'm interested to see where the mod support heads.
You probably all you got to do is point to Skyrim. Go Skyrim. It's Skyrim with updated graphics. It's going to be just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah. And apparently, it's going to be coming out on Windows Store,
better, depending on your moral standings.
Yeah. There's going to be a.
I was like, who decides what's bad on that?
There's going to be a Windows Store version, and they're adding some sort of NVIDIA things to just the Windows Store version of it. But
all I can say about that guy is like the moral standings, and you guarantee he'll be the first one lining up to see what people created in the game.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a developer, I'd be excited to see what people do with my game. I know there's something.
Tits and ass, but I'm not allowed to like tits.
It's like I can't remember. It's yet again, but it's a different standard with Japan and their
absolutely
moral ambiguity or whatever. Yeah. Well, hold on, but the thing that gets
Japan will make like big hooters that give you black eyes when you run.
The thing that gets me is I can't remember. I know there's a game developer and there's an actual manga writer who basically says he makes the game writer. I think it was the manga guy. And I can't think of who it is. Benthetz would probably know, and I know my friend Az would know that because he's the one that told me. But there's one of the writers out there for the manga. He tries to make the female characters dressed as exotically and alluring as possible because he knows people will cosplay it. And he wants to see the level of which they'll go to cosplay these characters. Yeah.
Like, what was the character from Metal Gear Solid? Quiet. The one with who had to breathe through her skin.
It was an interesting. It was interesting.
Bullshit, though. It was complete bullshit.
It was bullshit, but it was still interesting. But it's fucking Metal Gear Solid. I mean, dear God, man, the Metal Gear Solid 4, the main villains in the game were the fucking Femme Fatales, and each one was wearing like skin tight, like latex bodysuits basically, and they were unbelievably well drawn. But also they were all 3D modeled off of real freaking models. So
and then they had Quiet like prancing around in the rain in that one scene.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting. Anyways, moving on.
Interesting.
No, I mean, that's the thing that gets. It's the thing is well, that's just
an interesting artistic choice.
The moral aspect of it is interesting just because it's a different moral setting for Japan, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, shit. Have you seen the mechanic in Metal Gear or not Metal Gear? In Final Fantasy 15, like the blonde.
Sid. I think she's Sid in this.
Yeah, it's Sid. Yeah, it's Sid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not.
She's wearing almost nothing.
That's not what a mechanic wears.
No, short shorts.
So, short shorts.
Short shorts, like top. Really short shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty much just underwear. Let's just.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, more Gamescom news. There's a new Battlefield 1 game mode that's going to be coming out. It's a 5v5 mode called Incursions.
It's competitive.
It's a tighter, more focused gameplay versus the sprawling game modes. To me, it screams Call of Duty.
It's competitive.
That's my opinion.
It's competitive.
Yeah, it's for an esports Call of Duty style shooter. Apparently, you set it's really like class based, so you set it beforehand. I guess depending on what you want to do, which I could see being interesting. Being like, all right, we need to support with some the mortar so that we can attack them in these houses.
Well, it's interesting for that aspect, and I'm gonna just jump in there. Because one of the things that concerned me most about that when I read it in the first is when I was browsing through is that everybody will be a sniper. And the thing is that if it's class based, you're gonna have it can be set up. And I say everybody will use snipers because what you can use the bolt action rifles. They do a lot of damage. The bolt action rifles also deal a lot to the aspect of if you have red dot sights, or the red dot like the marksman rifles. It's all about headshots. Even with the bolt action with the iron sights, it's all about headshots. Headshots, one shot kill. So a whole team would just choose bolt action rifles because even though the other weapons in the game could be effective, competitive gaming scene is all about accuracy and fire. It's going to be rifles. So if it's set up squad based, then maybe it's going to force where everybody has to pick a particular class. And there's 4 classes in the game right now. So you like have so you'd have assault, support, medic, and marksman or scout. So that would be one double up if it's a 5-man team. So it could be interesting if you're going to have everybody picking sniper. They might be waiting a long time. It's kind of like League of Legends in the aspect of like back when they did their system where if you were ADC, you'd be waiting a long time because everybody was picking ADC. So it'll be interesting to see how they function it. But yeah, it's all competitive.
I'm sure it'll have its own meta, when it comes out, and especially if it's a competitive game mode. It'll certainly at the high end it'll have its own special meta.
Yeah.
1 medic, 1 support, 2 assault, however it ends up working out.
Yeah,
they'll probably
do something interesting.
And maybe there's different tactics and different ways to assault and different ways to defend and all this sorts of stuff.
Also depends on the map setup, how the maps are set. Trench warfare, bolt action rifle's not going to work. Assault's going to be a lot more effective. So maybe maps will have to dictate how you're set up. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how they'll actually do it.
Yeah, I grew bored of Battlefield after so many hours of playing, but I don't know. It never held me like Bad Company 2 did.
I don't know. I still like the Battlefield series. It's just that it's an FPS that I could go in and play for a few days, and then it's like, all right, I've got my fill, and then I go find something else to play.
Yeah. I mean, I played a crap ton of Bad Company 2. And I've never played another Battlefield game as much as I played that one.
In hindsight, that game was really good. It was good, but at the same extent, the control scheme in that game is atrocious. There's no strafe. There's no it's you walk left, you walk right, you walk forward, you walk back. There's no it's really weird when you go back and try to play it. It really is.
It's some interesting design choices, that's for sure.
I still would like to see. I'd love to see him do a Battlefield Vietnam again because I still think that was one of the best.
That was an amazing expansion ever done. Absolutely. Yeah.
So they hit that so fucking perfect.
Playing that one map with the burnt out hillside
was so
the first time you're like, holy awesome. Shit, this is amazing.
The whole landscape is scorched from the napalm. I mean, it was just
that was it
was awesome.
They did some great map design on that. So one of our favorite games to shit on, Brink, is back in the news amazingly. Bethesda's post-apocalyptic FPS is now free to play on Steam. Nobody's
gonna stream it.
Nobody's gonna stream Brink. Nobody's gonna play Brink, even if it's free.
One person will stream it with Why Brink Sucks.
Who released this game? Who was the studio that released it?
Bethesda.
It came out in 2011. Bethesda, yeah.
The fuck what is the thought behind this?
6 years. 6 years after it came out.
It's not like this game has anybody playing it. It's not like it had anybody playing it when it came out.
Yeah, it was an utter failure. It was one of the greatest ideas given to a bad development company. I forget who in Bethesda, who specifically worked on it, but they did such a bad job implementing the great ideas.
That was one of the first games I remember paying for like a year out.
Yeah, and that was the last game I was like, I'm done pre-ordering games.
You're right.
It was just...
So when did you pay for Destiny 2?
Yeah, that was one of those. Shut up.
There's a Destiny 1, so we know what it is.
Yeah, but the thing with that game is, that was one of the first games I've ever played. We're playing in the game. People weren't arguing and it's not like the community was great. It was literally people were sitting there going, "Why the fuck am I playing this?" I mean, literally, that was like the conversation during respawns was like, "Why am I playing this game? It's so horrible."
Let's put this cool parkour system in a game, but only let you actually jump over 2 objects on the map.
Things.
Like you could not actually parkour over anything. It was so badly implemented.
Let's talk about making this game that's a huge, wide open stage with all these different access, and then pretty much have all these wide open access end at 2 choke points that was in the middle of the map. So you could do all the cool jumping and dumb bullshit, and then it would always end up being the same thing.
And it's just a shooter.
The guy with the heavy body class sitting at the end of the fucking choke point with like a chain gun, just mowing people down with a medic behind him healing him so he can't die, and a support guy next to him throwing him ammo so he could just sit there and never end the chain gun. And it's like, what are you gonna do? It was just, oh my god, it was horrible.
It was bad. It was a badly made game. I'm just so amazed that they suddenly said, "We'll make this free to play."
What was the point? Is it to try to? It's not like you're going to make money off of it. What are they going to do? Try to relax? Maybe did somebody at Bethesda go? Hey, remember that game we released 5 years ago?
Yeah,
6
it is
years
microtransactions.
Hey, we can put that more microtransactions into it and maybe make the game fun again.
If we can get 10 people to play this game,
1 new map, 3 new weapons, and
you can. That's one of the things you can buy is the map packs, or some the expansions. Which there was apparently expansions.
Anybody who puts any money into that game,
apparently
that game had expansions.
Allegedly.
There's no proof of this.
I think I installed that game 2 weeks after or 3 weeks after it came out. I mean, that was how bad it was. Just, and I tried to like that game, but it was just so fucking bad.
It was a good idea, just a bad implementation. It
was a good idea, but it was not everything about the game was bad. It wasn't even implementation. It was just everything was horrible.
Yeah, there's 3 DLCs. 2 of them are $1, and 1 of them is $1.79, and it's on sale. It was $3.
It's so horrible of a game. I wonder what the metrics are. I wonder how many people are actually playing it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure you can look it up on Steam. They have that information.
Maybe they want it to be like what was that one that went free to play on Steam? Evolve, yeah.
And the studio died like 2 weeks later.
Evolve did that as
for a few more dollars before they.
Yeah, but why would you do that for a game that's fucking 6 years old? In gaming terms, that's antique.
Let's write Bethesda and see what they say.
It's all I can think of is somebody there said, "Hey, let's just make it free to play and see what happens." If we get people to go out there and play it and buy DLC, we might make $50, $60.
That's what I'm saying. It's just.
But why remind people of this shit game that you made?
It's just
that's what gets me. Why remind people of this failure?
They've had plenty of time to make things more be able to mantle on things and parkour around.
Yeah, maybe the DLC brought something out of it, but I doubt it because the parkouring system wasn't. It functioned fine. The parkour system
was pretty smooth.
It was smooth as fuck. But the problem wasn't that the parkour system wasn't broken. It was everything else in the game that was fucking broken. The weapons were horrible. The fucking character, because you had 3 different character body types. You had like the light, fast guys that could parkour really, really good. The normal guys, which could parkour decently but had more hit points. And then the tank class, which was basically couldn't parkour much at all, but had like the most hit points. Nobody played anything other than the big guys because the parkour was useless in most events when you could have a fucking heavy guy carrying a chain gun mowing everybody fucking down.
The only time I actually used parkour was in that specific parkour game mode where you did the time trial.
Yeah.
That was it.
But I mean, it was just.
And then you play a game like Dying Light, where parkour is amazing.
Yeah, the parkour is fantastic.
It makes you wish every single game had a parkour like that.
Without a doubt, I mean, you could see how that game definitely showed parkour in games was a more viable thing for actual gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can give that game credit at least for that aspect. It kind of like set the groundwork.
I'm just saying, as a fat man, if I was being chased by zombies, I would not stop and casually climb over that fucking concrete. I would parkour that motherfucker.
I would pay money to see you do that.
It's like, how did that fatty get up there? Holy shit.
That was defying physics.
Torn hacks.
So
I hacking in real life.
It boggles my mind why they'd even remotely. I mean, literally, that's not even like a dead game. That's like, it's been dead, it's decomposed, the skeleton has already turned to ash, the grave has been paved over with the parking lot. You know, they're not. It doesn't make any sense.
Someone dug it up, fucked it again, and then reburied it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's no market for it. There's games out there that have done it better. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Nobody in their right mind is going to go. And the only thing I could, maybe it's free now. Maybe they think they make it free. People will play, because definitely free to play games are a very big thing on Steam. you know, for the communities and aspect. But it's just that's even then. That's just I don't understand. Unless they're working on Brink 2 and they're doing this to actually push.
Oh, I really hope they're not. I mean, if they did it right, but I wouldn't. They'd have to have some stellar reviews for me to buy that game.
If they fix some of the problems in the first one and they just tossed it out there, hoping to,
they'd have the complete map redesign to be able to.
But I mean, it just doesn't make sense, though. I mean, it's. I mean, why would you? Okay, for example, why would you? Even if it's free, why wouldn't you just wait for Titanfall 2 to go back down to like $20 fucking, put $20 into Titanfall 2, and you're going to get a 10 times better game, 100 times better game, that's going to have complete support from a major AAA company that's got free DLCs tied to it. You're not going to, all you're going to pay is $20 and you got free, you know, a constant upgrade for this game for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why would you do it? And Titanfall is it's not even on the same scale of how better Titanfall is compared to
Overwatch.
Even Overwatch,
which is a similar gameplay without the parkour.
Yeah, I mean, there's way too many first-person shooters out there, but Overwatch is still $60,
yes,
$50 or whatever.
Just trying to capitalize.
So I'm just saying, for cheap, Titanfall 2 is a hell of a lot.
Sure.
Save up $20, get Titanfall 2. Parkour system in that game is unbelievably fantastic, you know, and it's useful. It actually has purpose.
And you can run on any wall.
And then you can get your giant fucking robot and blow shit up with your giant fucking robot, which is a billion times cooler than any goddamn thing you can do in fucking Brink. So, I mean, you know, like I said, we can give Brink a little bit of a, you know, way to go, because it definitely brought some of that element into the first person, and you could, like, Titanfall 2 can say
I don't remember, wasn't Brink one of the first games? It wasn't like that cartoon type drawing before
It was the first one that really brought in, like, you could actually move and work around the map in any way you chose. You could run and jump and climb and do all the kind of shit.
Slide under doors.
Yeah, it was revolutionary ideas.
Yeah,
it was poor horrible. Which why I think, I mean, it was not as shitty as we make it sound. It's just the fact that we were so disappointed.
No, don't let that's nostalgia. It was that bad and worse. It was.
I mean, it was an average game.
The guns didn't function properly. Iron sights were completely fucking useless.
I don't remember that.
The classes were fucking horrible. The weapons were just atrocious because the weapon classes were based upon what weight class you chose.
Yeah,
the
that
light,
was stupid.
The medium,
yeah.
And then it was fucking horrible.
All right. I just felt it was funny that we like to shit on Brink every few weeks, and then they gave us a reason to actually shit on Brink this week.
When you brought it up this week, I thought you were just fucking around.
No, it was a real thing.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
You see Shadow's eye twitching.
And just
Brink.
Heartbeat in his neck.
It's literally, it's like one of the top failed games out there. I mean, it was literally, like Bones said, Bones right. The amount of hype and the amount of what they talked about with the game were set on such a high bar. Granted, it's one of those things where in hindsight, it's like they really set the bar so high they had to fail. But it's just, I mean, it wasn't even like they even got near where they were setting the bar. Like they never even got off the fucking ground on their jump. You know, like Torn trying to climb a wall, getting away from a zombie. So, but
how did I get dragged into the end?
He's allowed to say that about himself. You can't say that about him.
I was just
our word.
It's our word.
Wait until it happens in real life. I'll be parkouring the fuck out of that big wall. I will scamper, clamber,
oh my gosh.
climb.
But we know you well enough to know that the wall better only be 2 feet off the ground. Because if it's 4 feet off the ground, you're fucked.
We've seen you in Dying Light.
Yeah.
I would get away and then I would just fall right off.
Yeah, you would climb up the wall and be like, I survived, and go, oh shit, vertigo, and then fall right back off the wall. So
Take that! Oh shit.
Okay.
It's like, we have to keep running, Torn. We have to keep running. I'm not going anywhere, man. Fuck you. I'm just standing right here.
I can't move!
Just like when we were top of that fucking radio tower, we had to like get you to fucking come off the fucking thing. You didn't want to move. You were gonna stay there.
I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Someone's got to explain that to me.
Yeah, it's just sometimes something you can't control. So I'm not sure if this is a Gamescom news or if they just announced it, but Razer announced a new Xbox and PC controller, which is highly customizable. We've sort of seen some of these in the past from Microsoft and places like that, and some boutique stores. It's called the Razer Wolverine Ultimate. As you would expect with a higher-end controller, it comes with multiple D-pads. It has a couple different thumbsticks, different heights.
Three different kinds of thumbsticks.
Yeah, different heights, concave versus convex. And it has 6 extra buttons, like trigger buttons on it, that can be mapped for a desired action. 2 of the extra buttons are like between the trigger and bumpers, like it's more in the middle. And then 2 of the buttons, if you know the Steam controller, it has them like underneath the controller itself, which is pretty cool. So pretty much you could use just your thumbs, and then those bottom buttons would be your A, B, X, Y buttons. I thought that was pretty cool.
6 extra buttons.
Yeah.
Who's going to be playing with this thing, Vishnu?
So the price though is $160.
That's I just posted a picture. Nobody else can see it because I posted it in Discord. But that's all I could think of. That was the old joke. PlayStation 5 controller or whatever.
Shit.
So did you 6 extra buttons, 10 different settings, you know, it's like that's
it's
the only thing
it's a busy controller. It's very busy. And for that $160 you do get Razer Chroma integration. So you do get some cool colors on your controller.
Okay, for the people that I don't understand, okay, for the competitive gaming scene for consoles, I can understand that.
Sure.
For the competitive gaming scene for PC gamers, they would just use a fucking keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah.
I can't
unless you're playing like Dark Souls and you want a really cool controller.
If I'm spending $160 fucking dollars on a controller, fuck no. I'll just buy the $30 Chinese knockoff and work.
Or a Steam controller. Or a Steam controller for $50.
I don't know. I didn't really like that.
I've already got PlayStation controllers just sitting around.
Did you use it when you were here?
No, I picked it up and I just didn't like the feel of it. I mean, but I'm not a huge controller.
It works very well for games that don't have normal controller integration. Like you can play any game.
It works really well for the games that you don't really use a controller for.
Like don't have natural controller integration.
I'll stick to my like $29.95 Chinese knockoff Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
Like
you could play like an RTS with that controller.
I'd still prefer a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, I would too. Absolutely, yeah. But I like it.
If I had a choice between a $160 Razer cutting edge controller and a $30 keyboard mouse combo like Saul uses, I'd still go with the $30 keyboard mouse.
Hey,
controller.
mine's like $32.
You see? You see? I'm
it was on sale on Amazon.
I would break out my old E-Machines keyboard and use that before I'd use the Razer controller. So.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought
got my trackball mouse.
It's cool. It's cool to see the high end stuff. But I'm not going to buy it.
It's neat, but it's a very niche market. I think
it is. It absolutely is.
For the top end like competitive console gamer that wants that controller that's got like the extreme response time to it and the customization and all that stuff. Yeah, I can see that without a doubt.
I can see the people that are using this religiously are the people that get Razer gear for free.
Or that too. Yeah. People that get the Razer toaster.
Get the Razer toaster.
Because it has to have the logo on the toaster. It just doesn't taste right. Yeah. You know, but
doesn't it put the logo on the toast?
Yeah, there was Linus had a prototype. I don't know if it's actually. I don't think it's actually coming out, but it was always like an April Fool's joke. But they sent him an actual prototype that did put the Razer logo on the toast.
That's funny. When I was showing Saul some Linus shit, and what were you saying about him? Because you were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, of course you're fucking happy about that shit. You get it all for free." And she's sitting there like bitching about it, and I'm like,
He has done recently. He has been doing a lot of stuff with like the budget stuff.
Because he had ads.
Yeah, because he bought an 8K
because he has ads on his thing.
Oh, he has integrated ads.
Why do you need to have ads on there when you get all of this shit for free?
He has a team of like 8 people that work for him.
When he gets like 34K monitors, he's just like, we're gonna pump this up and see what it looks like with all of these. These were donated to me.
And then at the end of it,
plastic wrap, woo! And everybody's cheering. I'm like, this is so stupid. stupid.
Hold on, that's not even the best part. Then when he goes like I think he's been hawking Tunnel Bear or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's been hawking something.
And she's like, and then he's got to take commercials at the end and hawk some crappy stuff. And I'm like, first off, there's two things. First off, if somebody wants to pay me to hawk their product,
Yeah. If it's
ahead.
anything reasonable, sure.
And the second thing is, if you get if some company like Asus donates you 30 fucking 4K monitors, yeah, I'm gonna be happy about taking that fucking plastic off.
Dude, at the bottom of that box with some knee pads.
This is the one. This is the guy who sat there and he was like, "I'm gonna make some kind of super PC in some old PC case to make it look." Oh my god! He was like, "This case is so retro. It's from 3 years ago." It's like, really?
It was actually from 2005.
And I'm gonna paint it black.
Yeah, but I saw that one. I didn't
That
like
was the one. That was
the
the one I think she was talking about was
this
they were
stuff didn't
doing like
fit,
the.
so now I have to modify the case, so
They were
it still
doing
looks
the-
retro, but modified completely
They were
to
doing
not
the-
look retro.
They were doing the Junker episode where they were trying to make an old crappy PC
Yeah.
super.
Yep.
So it looks like a crappy old beige
Yep.
shit fucking computer from like 2003 with like the compact.
2003. Yeah.
2003 was 13
They didn't have a
fucking
case.
Hey,
years
I had
ago.
a compact computer. It had a lock on the front of it.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
lock it closed. Yeah.
He got one that was
A
3
lot of
years
his
old.
viewers
that
are-
was white.
A lot of his viewers are in high school, so this is before their time. You gotta look at who he's trying to get to watch his videos.
I apologize. I am disgusted by him. I don't see what is so cool about him when he gets excited over shrink wrap.
Dude,
You have to look
Hey,
past.
everybody-
You have to look
Careful.
past that part of the video.
he can have Razer snub you out.
Yeah, or Intel
He knows people.
or Nvidia.
Careful.
I he does annoy me sometimes.
Sure.
With some of his smug shit, but the man knows what he's
He
talking
knows
about.
he knows his stuff. He absolutely
knows
his
his
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, he's one of the few guys where like.
He reminds me of a kid where his parents just bought him like $800 worth of electronic shit and go ahead, tear it apart, do what you want.
And he did.
Yeah,
and he
and-
drops it all.
And but the thing, it's like the thing that one of the things that recently that I gave a lot of props to was when he basically came out and like said, "Intel, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody saw that shit, but
Yeah,
Intel
yeah,
released
their
their
new-
i9 chips.
their
Where he went for a walk.
He came out, and, yeah,
It's
but
freaking
he's
stupid.
and he's just like, and I'm sitting there watching that video. I'm like, he literally was biting one of the hands that feeds him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like they give him shit that's like $3,000, and he's literally going, "This company doesn't know what the fuck
Well,
they're doing."
I'm
It's
pretty
like-
sure he had a talk with Intel before he did that.
Probably, but they're big boys. They can handle it.
Without a doubt, but he even said he had a later episode where it's like Intel contacted
Yeah,
him and
but
explained the stuff, and he's like, "I'm still waiting to see what if it says they're
His
gonna do."
his opinion can sway people one way or the other. So
They
it does
can.
matter.
He has a
Without a doubt.
huge viewing audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets a lot of free shit because it's
No,
free advertising.
And it's not like a lot of his viewers are buying i9s.
Oh God, no.
You know, the high end enthusiast level stuff
But
is such a
I-
tiny market.
With the same exact token, I give him credit for that too because he calls it out. He says, "This is enthusiast level shit. This is not like
Yeah.
I'm going to Best Buy and buying this for this chip. This is the crazy guy that's like, I have the i7 fucking whatever the hell it's up to now, and I already dropped."
79, yeah.
Yeah, I've already dropped $5K on the brand new Intel chip, and I'm not going to drop $9,000 on this new Intel i9. And he's just like I said, that video
No,
like
it's
shocked
the same
me.
guy who was all like, "I'm gonna get a red camera, and I have nothing that can actually edit the red, but I'm gonna go ahead and get
Hold
one
on.
anyways."
They
and let's
talked.
see what I
They
can
just
do."
they just released a video yesterday that talked about why they got the red camera, and it actually is very interesting. A lot of it is they can film wider scenes and then zoom in with no loss of.
Reds are phenomenal cameras,
Well,
but
this
you
is the-
have to have the equipment to use
Yeah,
them.
you gotta
And
be able to-
he explains
that's a
that.
lot.
He
He
explains
goes
that.
into
He
detail.
talks. He talks about
and then
that.
he goes and says, "Okay, so if you
Well,
just
not him, but
dropped
his cameraman.
$5,000 on a red camera,
It's
then
way
let's
more
show
than
them.
that.
But see,
It's
hold on,
not
hold on.
just
Yeah,
that.
I
It's
know.
like $100,000 they spend on
Just-
those
You just
things.
dropped all this
Storage.
money on that. Let's see what else you need to do to actually use it. Here's
Just
another
the storage
$1,000
necessary to
something
keep
got donated.
that raw data.
No, he bought all that, and he was complaining about it.
Yeah, he was.
That was a
complaining
complaint.
about
He
it.
was complaining about how ridiculous all the prices
He's-
are.
Yeah,
No,
and
guy is ridiculous.
but see, this is the thing.
That's part of it. He's so ridiculous over the top.
he
super
does
annoying.
he does this shit that's crazy, and the thing that gets, and this is the two thing that I understand. It always makes me unhappy when I see somebody unboxing like what was it? Was he when he was doing the 1600 or what 32,000 or whatever it was, where he had like the 12 or 16 monitors set up
Yeah.
for like. You know, and it's like the shit like that, and it's like, dear God, I would like die for just one of those fucking like Asus Rogue fucking 4K.
Yeah, they're brand new. Yeah, they just came out.
And it's like great, but the thing
Hey man,
is,
if you're just gonna throw those away, I'll take one.
yeah, that's what I mean, you know. But it's like the thing is that it's like I hate. Part of me hates it, and part of me goes, I wish I could have that kind of shit where it's like I can pick up the phone and go, hey Asus, I'd like to do a video where I'm gonna put 16 monitors together and see if I can do it. You want to try to throw me some freebies? And they're like, sure.
Yeah.
You know? I'd love to have that kind of clock. You know, that would be fucking fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don't
we'll have
shake
those
your
here
fucking head.
tomorrow.
If you tell me right now, if you could pick up the phone and go, yeah, I want a red camera for free just because I want to use it on the webcam.
We'll mention your name.
Mention you, and they're like, sure, we'll send you one at our cost.
I'd have to spend $4,000 to have the storage to store all that raw data.
I would take it, but I wouldn't sit there and be like, ooh, like shrink wrap. Oh,
well,
let's
shit, you want it?
Oh, look at it. Oh, it's so exciting. Look at the plastic. Oh my God.
People like that stuff.
Motherfucker, I'd be
that's not for you. It's for other people.
I would videotape that shit.
People
and be
like
afraid I'd break it. That's the reason I'd be like doing it.
He's not afraid of breaking anything. He breaks stuff all the time. Anyways, let's move on. I have to upload this later.
That's your problem, man, because you can't get because you broke your computer.
So many links on YouTube.
So this is my rage-inducing piece of news for the week. The Super NES Classic pre-sales went up on Best Buy early Tuesday morning, and they were sold out in 5 minutes. It was like 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, it was crazy early morning. As always, Nintendo is being dumb with their artificial demand and rarity, in quotes, by not releasing enough units.
I'm sorry, I'm still saying this, and I'm going to go on record on this. I think Nintendo does this on purpose.
They of course do it on purpose.
I think the reason they do this is because they do this, and then they start like 10 different eBay accounts, and then sell them at fucking 3 times the price and collect the money.
They're the bots that are buying them all.
They are the bots. They're not even botting it. They just they basically release like X amount on the market, and then they hold like 700, 800 in the back, and then eBay it for 3 times the price, so they get their money.
It's so freaking stupid. It's so stupid.
More than that.
Say, okay, how much money do we need to make our quarter whatever? Oh, we need to sell 350,000 of these. All right, that's how many we're gonna sell, and you know every one of them's gonna sell. They're not going to be any sitting on the shelves or anything. Every single one of them is going to sell.
It's a rarity thing.
Yeah, but they don't make 350,000 of them. They make like 1,000. Yeah. Like I heard one person at Best Buy said they had 7 units to sell. 7. 7 units to sell. That's an insane number for something like this.
Either way, it's one of these things where Nintendo's always done this. It used to shock me. It used to get me mad. Now it's just like it's expected. You know they're gonna do it.
It's just so freaking stupid.
And
I
would still
say I was gonna buy one. I would have bought an NES.
What's the retail price?
I think it's $50.
For
50, 60, something like that.
Look at how many people are going to the Raspberry Pi though.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
That's what I did immediately. As soon as I saw I wasn't gonna get one, I was like, "Fuck them! I'm getting a Raspberry Pi."
Right, you're getting a Raspberry Pi, which is what a lot of other people did too. So they have to make sure that they can still sell the units they produce.
Yeah, but I would have bought the units they produced if I could have bought one.
Yeah, if they didn't purposefully...
I would have gladly bought an NES Classic and a Super NES Classic and the N64 Classic when it comes out.
A Raspberry Pi?
No, I would not have bought a Raspberry Pi. I would have only bought these because I like the way they look. It's way cleaner. It's way easier. But no, they fuck up. They sell 1,000 of them and they stop making them. Whatever many they made. It just, the whole thing pissed me off. So I was like, fuck them, I'm getting a Raspberry Pi. They don't get any of my money. Sorry. And that's how I feel about that. Fuck Nintendo. I may never buy another Nintendo product ever.
Gauntlet is thrown.
Other than Pokemon Go. Which I rarely put money into. The last piece of news I have for this week is Destiny 2 beta is coming out. I think Monday is for pre-order people.
28th.
I think that's Monday.
Yeah, I think it's a day.
And then it's a day. And then the 29th for everybody is open beta. And then that runs through the 31st, I think. Which is Friday?
Yes. No. Wait. No. Thursday.
Okay.
Because the 2nd is Saturday, right? Yeah, so it's got to be Thursday, yeah.
28. Yeah, that's 4 days. So yeah, that'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
What is release?
When's the actual release date? It said it on. I don't have it open. I think it's in October.
Lovely.
Oh no, this is September 6th.
I was gonna say, usually they got this as a stress test if it's anything.
Maybe the PC date might be different. Yeah,
it's not gonna be that.
It's a different date.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Release date is October 24th for PC.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remembered an October date, so I'm glad that I was correct.
You guys are gonna be. Oh, you're not gonna have time to do that. You'll be watching Stranger Things.
You're not gonna have time to play a game. You have to watch a TV show that you can watch anytime.
Nope.
Is that the
priorities.
date? Is that the date that it comes out?
Yeah, it's like a week before Halloween.
Oh, interesting.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Yeah, that's true. But I can still play Destiny. Anyways, that's all I got.
Hopefully it's good.
Destiny 2?
Yeah.
or Stranger Things.
Both. I haven't watched the first Stranger Things, so.
What?
Oh my god.
Sir, you haven't even lived yet.
You're not
even
even
alive.
seen it?
You're not even alive. You're dead.
Holy crap.
You know what I watch it on Netflix? The Matrix.
I watched The Matrix actually a few days ago on Netflix. that's
I think I'm going to start watching Stranger Things, the first one again. I want to watch it before the new one comes out.
I'm still on American Horror Story before it expires.
Shit, you haven't even got to Game of Thrones. You need to be watching that.
You're watching American Horror Story before you finish Game of Thrones, and she's bitching on Facebook about people with spoilers.
I've been on Facebook for a while. Your fault.
That's why I don't really care about this anymore. I got her caught up to almost like season 5 and like episode 3 of season 5.
Halfway through 5.
You know, and
Wait,
it's just,
American Horror Story is going to expire.
Who cares?
What a stupid show.
You are completely.
I have Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but you're completely screwing the conversations. It's like we can't talk about it because you get all pissy about it. You know what I mean? We can't post funny fucking memes and shit because you don't know. We don't want to spoil crap for you. So it's like, Saul, don't look at this next post.
Some of the TV shows I've been watching, because I was watching The League, and they actually spoiled some of Game of Thrones for me.
Oh, she texts me, she's like, they told me all kinds of crap that I didn't know.
I know one of the characters dies, and it's the fault of somebody else.
Yeah, you don't know how it happens, though. But
yeah.
No, I don't.
It's just...
No.
It was apparently on ESPN, some ESPN show or radio show or something. There was a guy on Monday morning who, I won't say too much for people who haven't seen it like Saul, but he came on and he was like, "Welp," and he gave the spoiler about the dragon at the end of the episode. People were like furious about it. He said it on either national TV or national radio.
I knew it was going to happen because people were doing spoilers in Vigorous. It was like the bit where like they're talking about the Night King and all that shit. And it's like they're talking about the Night King, and it's like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh shit, I know what's gonna happen. I still watched it and I was like, it wasn't a shock. You can put the headset back on. It wasn't really a shock. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
if you were surprised, you're an idiot. I mean, really.
I called it at the beginning of the season. They had to even the playing field. That's all I'll say about it.
And it's you can put the headset back on. The only she killed. You've already seen this. The only thing that really shocked me in the entire series to date was the massacre at the wedding. That shocked me just because it was so.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
I cried.
I knew it was coming because I knew the books.
No. No. You got to realize she didn't cry because of what happened at the wedding. She cried because they killed the wolf.
Why did they kill the wolf?
Oh, jeez.
Because direwolves are fucking huge.
Yeah, that thing was massive.
I start bawling. That is the only two times I bawled during Game of Thrones. Both times.
Or Arya almost getting to see her family again and then seeing them dead.
I was laughing my ass off about it because I knew it was coming and I knew she was going to freak out about it.
It is like, shocking.
Just wait until they show what happens to the wolf after, and you get to see the shot of Robb Stark with no head and the wolf head. Yeah. And she's not freaked out about Robb Stark's head cut off. And she's more sad that the wolf head's there. I was just like, dear God, woman.
I mean, they kill a bunch of characters before that. But that is like they kill off some major characters in that scene.
Again, it's one of those things. In hindsight, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because Rob Stark
Well,
was pretty much done.
Even I told you how I saw it coming.
Well, he was dead as soon as he gets married. He's dead. It's like, all right, it's just a matter of time before he's dead.
It was like I didn't know when it was coming, but I knew it was coming, and then they killed the wolf, and I lost it.
You're gonna love what happens.
All right.
You're gonna love what happens this season.
Let's wrap this up.
Yes. So that's all we got. If I guess you're only watching us on YouTube this week.
Broke shit
because Twitch is not behaving itself tonight.
Yeah.
Please subscribe. Please like.
Twitch.
Please comment.
Don't blame Twitch.
It was Twitch. My internet's fine. Anyways.
My internet's fine. It's fine. I'm just dropping frames.
Like, comment, and subscribe, please. And check us out Friday nights when we usually stream at 8 o'clock on Fridays doing this. See you later.